Hey everyone, Hustlin' here, and I got another Power Rangers review for you today. These are a part of the Legacy toy line. They're releasing a lot of things so far just from Mighty Morphin, but a lot of Mighty Morphin figures and in special collector packaging and everything. Very nostalgic. So these are very reminiscent, the packaging of some of the Mighty Morphin figures, the bigger figures that they did back in the day, but they had the triangular packaging and everything, and it's really cool that they're bringing back this kind of packaging. It stands out on the shelf, and it really is cool for the collectors and everything, and yeah, it's just awesome. So these are 5-inch figures, so in line with the 5-inch figures they've been releasing from the Super Mega Force toy line, except these are all Mighty Morphin related. So we shall take a look at all of these. And as you can see by the sticker on all the boxes, these are Toys R Us exclusive. They will be releasing the entire team of Mighty Morphin Rangers, but this is wave 1 of the releases. You got your Armored Red Ranger, you got your Green Ranger, White Ranger, and Lord Zedd. Zedd was actually on the Toys R Us website first, and that's how I got him from the Toys R Us website. He was like a semi-Comic-Con exclusive sort of thing, but not really, because he was on the Toys R Us website. And then I went to Toys R Us a couple days later, and I saw Zedd there as well, but I had already gotten him. But then I got the other 3 there as well. So these 4 make up the first wave of releases for the 5-inch Legacy figures. Let's take a look at the packaging. So really cool. I mean, I love, you have your Mighty Morphin Rangers right there. Jason, Red Ranger, very nostalgic. This triangular packaging is awesome. I'm almost tempted to keep them in the box just because of how cool this looks. But, I always open up the stuff just so I can do reviews, and I prefer actually having the toy out to kind of look at. But still, this packaging is fantastic, and I'll probably save this regardless. The back of the packaging has your story right here, so you can pause the video and read the story if you would like to check that out. It also has a little bio of Jason right here, which is pretty neat. So you can also pause the video and read that if you would like, talking about him, and it mentions his weapon, the Power Sword, and how he has the Tyrannosaurus and everything. And so here are all of the figures that are in the line. So the next wave of releases, I'm assuming, is going to be the other 4, black, blue, yellow, and pink. But they are all Toys R Us exclusive, so you will have to hunt them down there. You can also collect all the weapons and combine them, so that's pretty sweet. So that is the Red Ranger there, the Armored Red Ranger. They're not going to have a regular Red Ranger because they've already done that in the regular wave of releases. Then we have the Green Ranger right here, which is pretty cool looking. They did do a regular release of the Green Ranger as well. The difference being, and I'll do a comparison, the shield here is gold, like a shiny gold. The Dragon Dagger is painted, plus he has the silver stripe, as seen in the episode Fighting Spirit in Dino Thunder. Oh wait, what's that? The sticker on the box says, as seen in Power Rangers Dino Thunder. I did not expect them to actually say it on the box. That is very surprising to me. Kind of cool, actually. I don't really like the silver stripe, and I prefer the regular version. But the fact that they actually acknowledged it on the packaging is kind of neat. I do like that. It shows that attention to detail there. And I will do a comparison, because we do have a regular release of the Green Ranger, so I'm fine with getting a silver stripe version as well. And then the back of the box is the same, except you have Tommy's story right there. So you can pause the video and read that if you would like. So that is that. Then we have the White Ranger right here. And again, they do have a regular release of the White Ranger, which I have not gotten yet. Only a handful of people have been able to find it so far, but once I do, I will do a comparison. I'm assuming Saba's painted on here and he's not on the regular one. Maybe that this is more of a shiny gold. I don't know. I guess I would have to see once I get the actual White Ranger. And there's his little bio right there that you can pause and read if you would like. Alright, and last but not least, we got a villain. We got Lord Zedd. So I doubt they're going to do a Rita Repulsa release because the last figure did not sell that well. But we got another Zedd figure, which is awesome. I'll do a comparison with the original Lord Zedd figure that I have, the one that used to light up from when I was a little kid. But there's his bio. You can pause and read if you wanted. And yeah, so really cool packaging. I really do like that about the Legacy line. But you know what? It's time to open these up and do a review, so let's check them out. Alright, so I got the first wave of 5-inch Legacy figures out of the box, and they look pretty cool. So I'm going to leave the boxes in the background because I do love the collector packaging. Can't get enough of those. So first things first, let's take a look at the armored Red Ranger here. Mighty Morphin Red. So really cool looking. This is the same mold as the regular Red Ranger. So if I take the regular release from the 5-inch line and Super Mega Force, same mold, although obviously they put the the gold helmet and or not gold helmet, gold shield. But the helmet is the same, so no difference there. The little buckle, everything else is the same. The main differences though are, well, you have the gold shield and you have the gold bands that come alongside the shield, so obviously he doesn't have those. And the weapons are painted, so we'll take a closer look at the weapons, but these guys, they're all red for the regular Red Ranger. So it's kind of nice because if you wanted, you could take off the weapons from the armored Red Ranger and give them to him, and then you'd have a really good looking Red Ranger with perfectly, good looking painted weapons, and that would be awesome. So there's no, harm in doing that as well, so that's pretty neat. But again, same line, same height, all that fun stuff, so it fits in perfectly well with the regular Red Ranger release, which is awesome. I do love that. So let's take a look at these weapons up close here then. So you have the Dragon Dagger, and it's very nicely painted. Even the little buttons are gold, and then you have like the silver tipped, even the green on the inside, the gold right there, even this little tip is gold. Yeah, really nicely done. Same paint as what the Green Ranger has on his dagger there. So they both come with the Dragon Dagger because they both have the Dragon Shield. So there's that. But then also, the Red Ranger has his sword. I'll just kind of hold it up here. But you got a nice gold power coin in the middle there. The silver sword right here in red on the end, and in the middle there, black handle. So yeah, pretty nicely painted. And even the Blade Blaster has some nice paint on it. It's a little silver tip, a little black handle there. Yeah, so it's pretty nice. Better than having just a solid red weapon, which was in the regular release, That's definitely very nice to have there. So yeah, overall I really do like it. I love the gold. The shield I think looks fantastic. It just really pops out at you because the gold they used is very nice and shiny. So I really do like it. In terms of articulation, same articulation really as the 5-inch line. So the arms move up and down that much. The shield just kind of gets in the way a little, of course, and they can move back and forth like that. You can bend at the elbow. You can rotate around the whole glove there. The helmet, of course. With the shield, it can kind of rotate all the way back. You just have to be careful because the shield can get in the way. But it does move, so it does rotate around. The legs, he can do the splits like crazy, and he can kick forward and back a little bit, but he does bend at the knee, and the boot does rotate around 360 degrees. So same articulation that any of these other figures will have, basically. If they don't have the shield, then obviously they have slightly more articulation for the arm to be able to move upwards and stuff, but that's really, the shield is the only hindrance there. But still, great stuff. I think it looks pretty awesome. So I do like the armored Red Ranger. Taking a look at the Green Ranger next. So we already saw the Dragon Dagger is the same. And by the way, with the peg, it can always stick into the side there. So that's no issue. So same articulation, so I'm not going to bother going through all of that, but he looks really nice. I think the gold is what really makes it stand out. It really makes it pop and looks great. Yeah, even on the helmet, the silver stripe, I'm not a fan of the silver stripe, but I actually think it kind of looks nice on this figure. The silver really pops out, and it just highlights the helmet well on this toy. So yeah, I actually really do like this toy. I think it looks pretty cool. Comparing it with the regular release, so the regular release came with just an entirely gold Dragon Dagger, which looked pretty terrible, and it was not even a shiny gold. It's like a dull gold is what I called it. Same with the shield. So obviously you'll see a difference in the shield right here. This was like a dull gold, and this is a nice and shiny gold. So that's a definite difference there. And they even added some of the black on the little indents on the shield there to make that pop. And even, I think it's just the shininess of the shield that really makes each individual thing kind of stand out a bit more than it does on here, The buckle is different because on here it's all gold, but on here it's silver with the gold coin in the middle, so that is different. And they added the gold armbands, which are not present on the regular release. And then obviously the regular release does not have the silver stripe. I think the perfect Green Ranger figure would be this without the silver stripe. I think then you would have the perfect Green Ranger figure. Because I think this has the perfect color scheme, however the gold is too dull and it is missing the gold armbands there. So if you were to kind of get the best of both worlds here, not trying to reference Hannah Montana, but just saying, you know, if you were to try and take all the shininess of this with the gold armbands and combine it with the design here, then I think it would be perfect. But same articulation, everything else is the exact same there. So I really do like this figure though. I like both, you know, because this one without the silver stripe, but I love the shininess on here as well. And it's nice to have two different figures. So finally, there's a figure for everybody. If you like the silver stripe, you got it. If you don't, you don't. So you win either way, I suppose. So that is pretty nice, though. I really do like that the notice they put on the box. I can't get over that. I really was not expecting it, because you have Mighty Morphin all over the place. I did not expect them to say "as seen on Dino Thunder." That's just something about it to me like really surprised me. But anyways, here is the Mighty Morphin White Ranger right here. So really cool looking. I can't compare it with the regular release because, like I said, I don't have that yet. But still, this looks great. It really does. Let's take a look at Saba here. There's a tight grip on Saba. So Saba looks pretty good. Some nice detail with the gold coin inside and the gold edges on there. The blade is a nice silver. Yeah, I mean overall it looks really good. Even the gold coin, even though it's covered by the peg, it still is painted. No paint up top here. I think it looks like it's because everything else is painted. It looks slightly like it's missing paint up top there. So it would have been nice if they added some paint on that. That's one minor little complaint. But I'm sure it's got more paint than the regular release. So that is certainly a plus. Seems like all the regular releases, it's one solid color. So maybe it'll just be solid white or something, which kind of look pretty terrible. But we'll see. But yeah, the gold that you use on him is very nice. The shield looks great. The helmet looks great. Everything looks great on this figure. I really do like it. Yeah, really nice. So same articulation basically as that one there, just even though it's a different shield, same articulation, so you can do all the same fun stuff with it and everything. So no surprise there, but you can do all sorts of crazy poses or whatever. And the helmet, of course, rotates around. So yeah, really cool figure. I really do like it. Another solid figure. The Legacy line has been pretty awesome. And the 5-inch figure line has been great as well. So you combine both, and you get, again, the best of both worlds. I really am not trying to reference Hannah Montana, I promise, but it just happens. And then Lord Zedd, right here. Here's Zedd. Here's his staff. I mean, you look at his staff, it looks pretty good. You do have a little arrow tip there. The Z, of course, pretty decent length. It would have been nice to be a little bit longer so he could like hold it like this and it would touch the ground, but still, it's, I mean, I suppose you can kind of tilt it down. I guess you could kind of do that, and then it almost touches the ground, so it kind of works. But he looks pretty good. I feel like it could have been a little bit better, where I feel like the silver lines here should have been going further back. I can't remember exactly how he looks on the show, but I feel like those went further back, so it looks a little small, the chest design. Yeah, as far as his actual color, was he this dark red? Maybe he was. It seems like the red is slightly off. I can't really peg it down as to what is off about it, but it just seems like the red is slightly off. But other than that, still some nice detail. I mean, plenty of that stuff there. You even got the blue little lines and stuff going around there. So some great detail. Even on the back, you have some nice detail for him as well. The helmet looks good. Yeah, overall pretty good. He can rotate around 360 degrees. His arms will move and all around and bend at the elbow. His wrists also move around. He has some nice like silver on the wrists as well, or on the hand. And And then legs, he can kick forward and not too much back, but he can do the splits. He can bend at the knee, and his whole little bottom part of the leg does rotate around. So lots of articulation, which I think makes him look, you know, pretty cool. I love articulation on figures because then obviously you can do all sorts of great poses and everything. That is definitely a huge plus with action figures, of course. So for that, I think that they did a great job with this figure. So some minor improvements I think they could have done, but overall still pretty good. For comparison, the only thing I really have to compare is the original Lord Zedd figure that I had as a kid. So just letting you know, he is pretty beat up. So here he is here. He is missing a Z, unfortunately, and he's got scratches and stuff all up there. But here's a comparison with the staff. So roughly same length. The new one is slightly smaller, and it's more curved at the end there as far as the tip goes. But I think the new staff looks better. As far as his design goes, well, he didn't have much articulation here. He looks a bit more menacing somewhat in this form, but that might be just because he's bigger. As you can see, like if I did a little size comparison, let me try and put these side by side and put the camera down. So you can kind of see he is taller, the Mighty Morphin, the original release. But he also had lights and stuff inside of him. Don't work now, but there was a button on the back that you could push, and unfortunately the light no longer works. But I think overall this one is nice because of all the articulation, because this guy you couldn't bend anything and it just rotated around like that. That's really, and the legs just that. So you do have a lot more articulation with the new release of Zedd. So that is certainly a plus. So there's that. The only other figures that I did want to compare with, I do have like the original flip head ones, but they're in such terrible condition. Like, and these guys are missing their shields, so there's really not much to compare. But I do have like the 4-inch versions from the Mighty Morphin 2010 toy line. So here's like the Mighty Morphin Red Ranger, the regular one, and the metallic is right there as well, although not really much reason to compare those. So let's just focus on the armored one here. In this case, the armored shield, this looks gold and this looks orange. Even the buckle, everything about it, this guy just looked very oddly proportioned. So I think the 5-inch figure is a much better job of representing what the Ranger actually looks like there. Then if I take the Green Ranger, again, it looks a bit more, I mean, I guess it is kind of gold, but it's like a darker gold in a way, and you have that kind of gold, which this seems to pop out a bit more to me, or at least a bit more accurately. This seems a little too much, too dark gold. But you do have the accurate helmet there, but everything else is oddly proportioned, so, you know, you win some and you lose some. And then for the White Ranger, I have the metallic one, the pearly white color, so not really an exact comparison. The shield looks pretty nice on this guy, though, I gotta say, but it also looks nice on him, too. The helmet, I think, looks much better on this guy, though, on the 5-inch Legacy version. Yeah, they did have the black painted in the buckle there and not on here, so that is one plus that this guy had. But other than that, again, I think the Legacy 5-inch figure is better. And on those guys, the weapons were not painted. You just had black and silver weapons for these guys, and that's about it. So, although some nice detail, like on Saba, so that is pretty cool. But anyways, on these guys, you know, I gotta say, overall, I really do dig them. I think they are pretty awesome. You know, the silver stripe, while I don't prefer it, I think it does look pretty good on the toy, I gotta say. And I would have preferred a regular release, but at the same time, I'm not disappointed. Because they actually did a nice job with it. And we did get a regular release without the silver stripe, you know? So you kind of get, again, the best of both worlds. You get the best of both worlds. All right, I'm not going to sing. So this is it. This is wave 1 of the Legacy 5-inch figures. Your armored Red Ranger, your silver striped Green Ranger as seen on Dino Thunder, your White Ranger, and Lord Zedd, all from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and they are all pretty awesome. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and if there's any other questions you have, post them and I'll try and answer them for you. Once the next wave of Legacy figures release, I will collect them as well, and hopefully then we'll have the entire Mighty Morphin team, and I can do a comparison, which should be pretty awesome. I'm looking forward to it. So please subscribe if you haven't already. Got lots more Power Rangers reviews on the way. Thanks for watching, and see you guys later.